Hello, Aarti. The question that I would like to ask you is how do we help parents, adults, children get over the screen addiction?
Before I go into addiction per se,
Yeah.
I need to help us understand how did we bring in screens? Why did we bring in screens in the first place? Because in the past, what was happening was the child had a lot of experiences all over. So with adults in the family, with neighbors, with different toys that they could manipulate, things like that. And then at some point, say around 2009, when the tabs and all of that started coming in, children started looking at screens, because whenever the child cried, the child was restless, the child wanted to be carried, the mother started giving them a tab or a phone or all of these things. Now what has happened is the child's brain has now become attuned or has started responding only to the screen. Now when a child cries, and this is for milk or for food, and you've given a screen, now the child doesn't know how to eat without a screen. Because in neurology we always say fire together, wire together, which means the neurons which work together at one point when they learn it will now sort of work together. So without that, so you'll see a lot of mothers complaining, only if I play this cartoon, only if I play this music, he's eating. So this is how this habit starts. Now the problem is not the usage itself, but the addiction. So at one point I need to understand as a parent that addiction is when the child has no range of other behaviors, is always craving for a particular screen. So this is the child that wakes up in the morning, is very cranky, so then you give them a video and then you ask them to, the child looks only at the video and sometimes even gets ready, mother is showing the video and somebody else is getting the child ready. So this level of dependence on the gadget is what we are usually worried about. So as a parent, what do I need to do? Before I remove the screen or the gadget from the child, the first thing that I need to do is to build my relationship with the child. Because for any addiction to change, whatever the addiction, any addiction to change, I need to build a relationship.
That's so true.
Very often, there are no relationships the child has, no other activities or interests that have been developed. I've only given the screen and suddenly remove the screen and say, from today I'm not going to let you do anything else. The child has no way to learn, and that's when they have tantrums and there's violence and aggression, because child doesn't know what to do. So to build this relationship, first start going out for physical walks together. Start always at the level of the body, because when you start doing some physical work together, play football for example, go for a walk, not go to the mall and things like that, but actually bond with your child, have conversation, interesting things together, play in the mud, those kind of things, the child's brain starts getting a lot of experiences. This range of experiences are very essential for the child to be able to change from there. Now, this may be suitable for younger children. When it's a teenager, what do we do? Because teenagers are also addicted. They don't want to come and speak with the parents, and usually there's a lot of rebellion between the child and the parent, the adolescent and things like that. That's when we need to understand that when we are working with adolescents, a little more effort is expected from the parent to be able to build the relationship. When I say little more effort, this is not where you're advising, moralizing, lecturing, and taking your reality, which is 30, 40 years back, and saying at that time we listened. At that time you did not have screens. So don't use that as a reference point to change behavior now. So starting there, build the relationship. It will take definitely at least a month to build the relationship. Very often what happens is see the video and then 2 days try it, child doesn't respond to them, I don't want to walk with you, I don't want to talk, there's a tantrum, the parent gives up. So we need to consistently build this, it has to be done every day, and then at the next level, once the relationship is sort of built, continue the relationship building and then introduce them to newer activities to do together. See, when you like somebody, for example, ma'am, you'll notice that you want to do something with them. I want to bond with them, I want to spend time with them. That's the experience our children need when they want to give up gadgets. They don't want a lecturing parent sitting there telling them, in the moral space that, this is how you have to be. They want a fun parent. They need to have that
Come down
experience.
to the child's
Child's
level.
level. I won't say come down because it's not coming down. It's at the
Understanding.
reality of the child. Because
Okay.
coming down, going up means that the relationship is already unequal. You can't change an addiction in an unequal relationship. You can change it only when you treat the other person with the respect that is due to them. So in that sense, they're both equal. And then once we do that, we start building a range of activities that we can enjoy. Some can be outdoor, some can be indoor. And then you can give an optimal time for screen. See, because there's going to be more and more technology in the coming years. You can't,
Cut them
completely,
off.
keep a sterile environment where the child has no exposure to technology. That's also wrong. The moderation aspect is usually the best way in which we can deal with screen addiction. So these would be by and large the steps. And if it's a very severe addiction, it's important to seek professional help because we can't just change it overnight and it takes time.
That's so useful, Aarti. Thank you.